Welcome back, Tribe. Let's get into it.
Well, right. Let's start with this pack. Now, this story fascinates me. Jonah Hill emotionally abusing his ex, Sarah Brady. Michaela, welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored, first of all, as a newbie. So I've read, Sarah Brady seems to be relentlessly posting all their old text message exchanges, which I just don't think is on anyway. One. Secondly, when I've read them all, Jonah Hill's perfectly entitled to just lay down some boundaries, isn't he? And if she doesn't want to go along with it, well, fine. And she clearly didn't really, so they split up.
Piers hasn't heard, apparently, that when a man lays down boundaries, it's toxic. A man is not supposed to have any boundaries. A man is supposed to be a blue-haired simp and allow his wife to run around, girlfriend, to do whatever he wants with whoever he wants, and that means he's a strong, masculine, new age male. He's so comfortable with his masculinity. It's a bunch of horseshit propaganda that they're pushing down your throat. Never ever accept any of this degeneracy. You'll end up like Adam 22.
And that's it. And they move on, but she won't move on and now wants to shame him. Why?
Well, when I first read the text, I thought maybe Jonah Hill was being unreasonable because if you're going to date a surfer and they put up swimsuit photos, you can't be that shocked by it. But that was before I knew that it was a year and a half later. He's just had a kid with his girlfriend. So I would just say she's looking for attention, obviously. So he was probably right about the swimsuit photos in the first place, being irritated by them because it was probably for attention, given she won't give it up now.
But Kat, why are we reading all this? They split up. He's met someone else. He's become a father with somebody else. I read them. They're not like abusive. It's just him saying, I would prefer you don't do this. This kind of conversation goes on in every relationship, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel like now everything has to be some specific therapy word, and that side or another. I think he was.
Women are also being emboldened to do this kind of stuff, to seek this attention because society monetizes it. There's a financial incentive. She becomes famous. She's the talk of the town. Everybody's paying attention to her. Attention. We're rewarding this shit. She's benefiting. He's done nothing but lay down basic ground rules for respect. Can you please not post indecent pictures for whatever his reasons have to be? Because he's a man and that's what he wants out of his relationship. He's a human being. He can have his own standards and boundaries. But no, man, it's toxic masculinity. It's controlling. The patriarchy this. Throw in a bunch of buzzwords. You go, queen. Slap her fucking face all over the media, all over print, all over the headlines. Embolden her and then lower him. This is the society we're in today. Men aren't worth anything. It's strong boss babe at all costs. We can do anything a man can do, except build a goddamn house, except dig a ditch, put up a wall, go to war, anything that keeps our society functioning. We'll leave that to the invisibles, aka the underclass of men that silently work, bust their ass every day in the fucking elements and never ever complain. Maybe those men at the bottom, maybe the invisible class that lets us all have these nice things, maybe they should walk out on work for a while and let the strong boss babes do it. Maybe then we'll get an ounce of respect from the average woman when shit doesn't arrive on time, your fucking order from Amazon doesn't come, the AC breaks and no one's there to fix it, the water stops, the electricity don't work no more. When all the basic necessities you take for granted, the shelves are empty because there's no more truck drivers. When that shit comes to a halt, we'll see who praises who. Because right now, we live in such soft times that a man simply saying, I don't want you posting disgusting ass whorish pictures on Instagram when we're trying to start a family or whatever the fuck his reason is deemed as a goddamn threat, is deemed as toxic. But you go anywhere in other parts of the world that is not the West, they would look at this guy as just common sense thinking. And they would look at her as out of her goddamn mind crazy. But we have it reversed. We're so soft, we're going insane.
It's being kind of a jerk in that conversation. Don't start dating a surfer if you're not comfortable with these things. But also, yes, and she's clearly looking for attention because she keeps posting more and more things.
It's cringe making.
And none of us, I don't care who you are, none of us would look awesome based on our worst text we've ever seen.
I would, but Tyrus, nobody wants to see their dirty linen airing on Instagram stories minute by minute. She's posting this stuff all day long.
Well, to be fair, she's posting excerpts
Yes.
of the text. She's not posting her stuff because typically since she wants to use big words like abuse, because abuse has changed a lot, because I need to call some of my football coaches and have to bring them on this show because they didn't talk to me that way about boundaries. And if you don't like it, do it my way. They use cuss words and stuff. So the sensitivity of this is basically she's just coming off looking really thirsty.
I mean, she says in one of the posts, this is a warning.
This is not abuse.
She said, this is a warning to all girls. If your partner's talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Love you all. Call me if you need an ear. Well, he made the exit plan. He left her.
He set up boundaries, but here's the thing. In the argument about the she's a surfer. Okay, but surfers usually wear a wetsuit when they surf competitively. She was taking pictures and Kat did this great
Good
prank
point.
on social media where she took a picture with a black box by where her butt was. And then when you swiped it, it was an even bigger black box.
Yeah.
So, there was no black box with her.
That's
She
the
was
only
taking-
bathing suit photo that I have on the internet is completely covered.
Well, talking of bathing suits, let's talk about Miss Netherlands. So at the weekend, Ricky Valerie Coley, who was a transgender entrant to Miss Netherlands competition, won the title. So a biological male has been voted Miss Netherlands and will now take part in Miss Universe. Michaela, your thoughts?
I hope he wins Miss Universe.
I do too.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I really do. I really hope a man wins Miss Universe. I hope men keep destroying women in all these competitions to the point where women are just completely outclassed from rank 1 to 10 in placements. I hope it gets that bad so that the only way we heal from this is it has to absolutely accelerate to complete and utter madness. We're not there yet. Trust me, it seems like it, but we're nowhere near. Until this becomes so bad that women start to get truly pushed out completely, not just first place, not just winning, but completely. When they for us to appease this kind of ideology. Once we get there, then we may start healing. For now, enjoy the clown show.
I don't even know how to react to these situations.
Same.
Because women fought so hard to get where we are today. I was just looking at the picture of the Boston Marathon runner in 1967, and it's this woman, and she's being grabbed by men on the track because women weren't allowed to compete. That's where it started. And now we're here, and there are men competing in our sports, and I have no idea how feminism came full circle.
It's so bizarre. And Kat, I mean, only yesterday, Megan Rapinoe, one of the great female sports stars in American history, came out as she retires, which might be convenient timing because it won't apply to her, and said, I'd be very happy if trans athlete sports women come and play in the American women's team. Well, fine, but what happens if they're all 11 biological males representing the American women's team? I mean, this can't be right, surely.
I think what's even worse is people saying that if you have some issue with a biological male competing in sports, then the only reason for that is that you're transphobic and not the research that you can point to that shows that someone who's gone through male puberty could have various advantages over a biological woman in these activities in these sports. It's not a zero-sum game when it's these conversations. There's scholarships, there's different things on the line there. And I think that really...
It's insane that we need research, literal millions of dollars put in to studies to say the obvious that men and women are different. This is no comment.
really just taints the whole entire issue. When it comes to pageants, I do want to get on the record that I think pageants are lame.
Right. I mean, that could be a perfectly reasonable argument that they're all lame. But Tara, it seems to me like every aspect of womanhood is, for want of a better phrase, under attack from the trans lobby that basically want to have their rights superseding women's rights to just be competing against other females.
Now, to be fair, my opinion is going to be skewed because I do identify as a phobic. So I am phobic on everything. So the idea that what does it say about women that a man can just switch and be a woman and inside of 6 months win everything? So, where are the feminists? Turns out the feminists are the alpha males because we're the only ones complaining about this.
Right.
And I think it's whenever you always have to follow the money. Whenever somebody comes out and says, I think this and doesn't make sense with the soccer player, I guarantee you, if a trans man took her job,
yes,
that would not be the conversation.
Oh, it'd be mayhem.
It'd be, and it's just like the same thing with like the equal pay thing. When you do the math, they actually were making more than the men. So it just goes back to narratives. They say things. There's no way, I don't care what makeup, hair, or whatever, that any man who transitions is going to be more beautiful than a woman. It's just not. Pageants, the scholarships, the modeling jobs that go with it, it's political. You can't tell me like that. And I don't know, that person can be the nicest person in the world, but there's no way that is the best representation of a woman.
Also, when Megan Rapinoe talks about this, she likes to position herself as all about equality. She fought a very good campaign for the women players to be paid the same as the men. Great. Okay, they get big audiences. They're world champions. I can sign up to that. But what's equal about allowing people with an obvious physical advantage to come in and decimate women's sport? It's not equal. So you can be all about equality right to the point you say this stuff, then you're not about equality. Talking of equal, Kat, and we don't.
It's pandering. It's political pandering to the elite who've probably messed up their kids by chasing extreme amounts of ambition and goals and power and greed, and left their kids destitute from love, attention, which turned them into, ta-da, this ideology. Because if you look at Hollywood, if you look at the elite, they all have kids. A lot of their kids are into this. What could you say? Flavor of the month? Way of thinking? Of course, now that you have influence and power and the ability to change and affect society, you're going to make it more comfortable for your progeny. So why not force it on everybody else? It's almost like they feel guilty for chasing their goals while neglecting their family. And the way to make up for it after messing up their own children is to mess up everybody else's children the same so they can feel better. At least the world's good for my kids too. It's not my kid. My kids aren't the issue. The world is the issue. I'm not the bad parent. The world just doesn't understand. These peasants, these plebs at the bottom don't understand this ideology, this idea, this lifestyle, this way of life. They're too stupid. We have to affect change forcefully in society so they can comply, because God forbid my progeny gets outcasted, gets looked at as weirdos by everybody else, because I was a shitty parent, gone all the time, chasing power, greed, and wealth. No. We'll make this an issue for everybody.
I don't know the answer to this question, but Elon Musk has challenged Mark Zuckerberg not just to a cage fight, but he's now upped the ante. He said Zuck is a cuck. I don't know, it means a cuck, is it? He tweeted Sunday night, I propose a literal dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
Side note on that, who the hell is going to sign up for his version of Twitter where you're going to get censored? That's all it is. This is like, think of it like this. The left is freaking out. Musk took over Twitter. It's now censorship free. You could pretty much speak your mind. He's a proponent of free speech. They lost a major conduit for information control. So this has been planned. Zuck's not even like the brainchild behind this. I guarantee this is probably funded by government. This is probably funded by faceless 3-letter agencies from the government in order to enact control. And they're going to give him secret under the money table support, and they're going to push laws in his favor and make sure the connections are kind of like how China does it with all their state companies. They say they're private entities, but the state backs everything and makes them grow into multinational corporations. Why wouldn't our own government create a clone of Twitter, since they lost it in a private sale to a businessman, under the control of Zuck the Cuck, so that whenever they need to enact censorship, morons are going to go sign up there and think it's just like Twitter and go and get censored because it's a safe space. We don't want all those other ideas to be drilled into my head. We don't want my ideologies to be challenged. I don't want to hear any other counter opinions. I'm right, you're wrong, period. Censor him.
I mean, that's bold talk.
Speaking of differences in gender, women don't do this. Women are never like in a business dispute and they're like, oh yeah, we'll pull your pants down because what I got going on is better than you. This is just him being a bro. I don't think they ever actually fight in a cage match. I think that Elon Musk is having a little bit of fun with this, and I don't think they ever actually do it.
Michaela, what do you make of this whole Threads thing? 100 million people have signed up in the space of a few days. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is taking the challenge to Elon Musk. Is Elon Musk in trouble with Twitter, do you think?
So 100 million people signed up in a few days, but there's 2.35 billion people on Instagram. I don't know if that type of conversion at like 5% is something to be that proud of. And I've been on the platform and I don't think it's as interesting. I guess that would be the nice way of saying it. I don't think it's as interesting as Twitter.
Well, also,
I hope it doesn't take off. And I don't foresee it taking off, but you never know with tech and the amount of NPCs in the world today. Regardless, he's doing great things at Twitter regarding censorship, regarding implementing long form videos, subscriptions, everything. He's making it very easy for content creators. He's actually going after YouTube, which is smart because YouTube, as far as social media goes, amongst target audiences, YouTube crushes everything. TikTok pretty much is king of short form, and YouTube crushes any long term by a mile. Nobody's even close. Rumble's trying, and it will take a few years before they get their whole UI in order and make it look nice. But for the moment, YouTube's the one you want to knock the block off of. Really, it is. And it seems like Twitter's going in that direction. And very soon, man, you may see big deals of people moving to Twitter. I mean, you've already seen it, Tucker, amongst some others. And then it'll follow, man. It's a domino effect. It just takes time. For the moment, we're all stuck on YouTube. And you have to watch what you say.
Taras, I mean, Zuckerberg's trying to make out it's going to be a place for nice conversation. There is no social media platform that's nice.
Yeah.
They're all vile, aren't they? All of them. Even Facebook.
Or it's too like lotion in the basket type nice in the other direction.
But I would like to argue, no, women don't pull them out and put them on the table, so to speak. But they're always judging each other by the way they're dressed and talking about outfits
But
and
we'll
how much
talk
look
about
at her
it behind
shoes.
their back. Each other's back.
But then they'll be like, look at her shoes.
To be fair, I don't think
like they're vicious.
They're not actually
But
getting
no man or no one's going to pay money to see Zuck and Elon.
No, I would.
I would.
No, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
I'll see the entries.
No, absolutely. That will be a record-breaking fight because we live in a clown show and people would watch two barely trained billionaires duke it out. We're in that world right now where YouTubers are fucking fighting, earning more money than actual fighters. So no, it will be a record-breaking fight. Welcome to the world today. See you on the next one, guys.